Full odds versus method hunting has been a debate for ages, but I truly love them both. And as I've been doing lots of hunts that are either 1 in 8192 or 1 in 4096, which is the full odds in the modern games, it feels pretty rough going weeks, if not months, without seeing a shiny. And while I love doing these full odd hunts, I need to supplement them with hunts using methods that have increased odds just so I can feel something. But I can't just do these method hunts on the side for fun. I'm a psycho and I need to make it into a challenge for myself. So for the next 100 days, I am going to try to catch at least one shiny Pokemon every day. It doesn't matter the game, it doesn't matter the method, it's just gotta shine. And day one, I caught our first of many shinies with a Mischievous in Legends Arceus. And this was followed up shortly by an Oshawott, and then a shiny Stunky. And finally, to end the day, the first day of many, we get a shiny Alpha Ninetales, which is insane for day one of the challenge. I honestly think this is my favorite Alpha Pokemon that I have in my collection, period. But we have 99 more days to go, so the next week we get into a routine of finding one shiny before I start my other hunts for the day. Monday, I score a Kricketune. Tuesday, we get a Kricketot. Wednesday, a Paris. Thursday, a Silcoon. And finally, Friday, we get a bright red Skorupi. And Saturday rolls around and we go a little crazy, getting a whole slew of shinies. But after a week of hunting in PLA, or Pokemon Legends Arceus, I switch to Pokemon Scarlet. Which, when we switch over, we get ourselves a nice shiny Fido, which is a burnt color for the dough. But the next day in Scarlet, it doesn't go too well. It ends up being 11:30 and we haven't found a single shiny. So with 30 minutes away from failing the challenge on day 9, I pop a shiny sandwich and throw up a prayer. And 10 minutes before midnight, I get this Oricorio, which, funny enough, right after this shiny, which it's an amazing shiny, I finished the sandwich with a beautiful shiny Meowstic and then a Galarian Slowpoke. So we get 3 shinies within the last 10 minutes of the day. So, not too bad. And I largely go back to Arceus just because I love the shiny sound and how casual the games are. But after getting a shiny Sudowoodo, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, on day 13, which is supposed to be an unlucky number, we run into a shiny Alpha Rapidash. And my second Alpha shiny, only 2 weeks into this challenge, it feels amazing. And you know what doesn't feel too good? Day 14, we fail our first shiny, landing on top of a shiny Abra just for it to disappear without me getting a chance to save. And obviously I can't count this as catching a shiny Pokemon today, so we end the day with a shiny Pikachu. And a target that I have in Legends Arceus, you wouldn't believe, it's actually shiny Bidoof. I don't have one and I want to use it for the Path of Solitude. And on day 15, it delivers. And as we spend the rest of the week in Arceus, we get a shiny Pichu to complete my Pikachu, Pichu, Raichu collection. We get a Pachirisu and we get a Hippopotas. Day 19, we go back into Scarlet for an event and snag not only one shiny Smoliv, not 2, but 3. And then we also bag a couple of Charcadet, although my eyes are suffering from serious damage trying to find these shinies. And then day 20 rolls around and we have the Unova Go Fest. I catch like 20 shinies that day, but since I don't record myself catching them live, I want to show off some of my favorite shinies throughout this whole 100-day challenge. There have been a lot of fun shinies in Pokemon Go I've gotten over the last few months, and here are a few of them. Shiny Litleo, Ponyard, Nimble, Hitmonchan, Captain Pikachu, Florigato with the hat, Gigantamax Snorlax, which looks amazing, even the tree changes colors, and then Biker Gang Snorlax, Wimpod, Smeargle, Kabuto, Zorua with the Unova Tour background, Bouffalant, Pansear, and all 4 seasons of Deerling. And yeah, funny enough, at the end of this Go Fest, we actually see a group of deer, which is just fitting for the deerling themed event. And we do Go Fest Day 2, but when I get home, I open up my 3DS to do a casual hunt in Pokemon Black and Pokemon White 2, and we get this. So, I didn't get a reaction, but 23 encounters. I'm doing a different hunt on the side, but 23 encounters. Oh my god. This is crazy. Nipple? Perfect. This will probably be the shortest full odd shiny hunt that I ever do in my life, which is just crazy to think about. Day 22, we get 5 shiny Applin, which again are really tiny and hard to see, but I'm glad I have the set. But you know what isn't that hard to see? Shiny Lapras, this shiny Porygon, and this shiny Finizen. And to pay tribute to our full odd Sewaddle, we get a couple in Scarlet as well. But yeah, the next day, something crazy happens. I had downloaded Pokemon Sleep and have been playing every day of the challenge as well. And we get our first ever Pokemon that is shiny in Pokemon Sleep. But we keep chugging along. The next 5 days are all Milcery pretty much, since this video that I have on my channel required me to catch 65 shiny Milcery. But mixed in with all that, we also got a shiny Lapras once again, and we get this shiny Marill. Days go by and we get a Zubat here, a Magby there, but we get back on our full odds arc on day 36. Alright, so I got another shiny. I was doing my Milcery hunt, and it's a Sunkern. I don't know if you can tell or not, but pretty cool, pretty cool. 3,134 encounters. So I'm actually got it faster than I got anything for the Milcery hunt. So I just think that's pretty funny. But yep, I'm gonna catch this thing and we'll be back. And yeah, this isn't nearly as clutch as our 23 encounters, but still, we're well under odds. And honestly, I was trying for Patrat, but we'll take what we can get. And riding that full odds high, the next couple of days we get a Carnivine, followed by a Ghastly, and another beautiful Dustox. And we do get some full odds shinies in Pokemon Shield during our Milcery hunt, like this shiny Joltik. But again, I'd watch the Alcremie video if you're interested in those. And day 42 rolls around. We get our second Pokemon Sleep shiny. Shiny Krogunk. Second shiny, love it. At this point, we really start to hit a rhythm in Pokemon Arceus. Going into this week, I only had shinies from my Team Rocket video in the game, and I can't get enough of this game, so the next few weeks, I stay in Arceus. And unfortunately, on day 60 after my Swinub, we fail another shiny. But this time, it's shiny unknown. Which hurts a ton because one of the things I wanted to do while hunting in Pokemon Legends Arceus was to start my shiny unknown collection, trying to get one of every letter, and it feels terrible to fail my very first one. But with bad fortune usually comes good fortune a few days later, and this is what I got. So I got off of work and I got this. Yes, it is a shiny Galarian Zapdos. If you guys are unfamiliar, in Pokemon Go, this is probably the rarest shiny you can get outside of some limited time shinies and some regional shinies. But yeah, it was amazing. I didn't really have a reaction for it because I was not recording myself at work. But here's how it pretty much looked. Oh my god, I got a shiny Zapdos on my phone. Definitely not picking up my Nintendo Switch 2. And then back to the normally scheduled shinies. We get a Ghastly, a Clefairy, and then a shiny Goomy, and followed by a Petalil and Sudowoodo, and we're on to day 69. And I promised myself I wouldn't make a corny joke here. I was just playing late at night at my parents' house over Easter on day 69, and I needed one shiny, and it was getting late, but I run into my third alpha of the video, which it's been like 50 days since the last one, but I love this shiny Luxray. It looks fantastic. The next week, we worked on our video deciding our Legend ZA starter with a shiny hunt, but a few shinies to call out that I really liked from this video would be my shiny Ditto and my shiny Cyclizard. And then following this, we get our last sleep shiny for the video. And I get in a routine of coming home every day from work, just running laps in Legends Arceus as I eat dinner, which I've really loved, by the way. I never knew what shinies I was going to get, and that was super exciting for me. Some of my favorites were Mothim, Chatot, and this big green Tangrowth. But shortly after, we reclaimed the shiny Unknown, which I might say is a W. But bad pun aside, as I'm leaving the cave, I spot a unusual target in the corner. And yes, it is a second shiny Unknown in one cave after months of just looking for a single one. And other than that, we hop back onto Scarlet the next day for a shiny Wiglet. And as we approach the end of the challenge, we lock in. Also, real quick, I didn't record it because I didn't realize it, but I caught a shiny Alpha Pichu without realizing. I just catch all the alphas because over the last 95 days, I was trying to casually work through my alpha living decks, and it paid off with me randomly catching this shiny Alpha Pichu. But day 97 rolls around, and we're getting close to day 100. And I need to end it on a hype shiny, something to remember. But it's a tricky situation because it's really hard to plan a hype shiny in one day. So then the perfect idea hits me. We're going to go for shiny Keldeo, which up to a couple of months ago was shiny locked. The only way to catch it is you're going to have to fill out the Pokemon Shield Pokedex in Pokemon Home, but you're also going to need the Pokedexes filled out for both of the DLCs. And looking at my Pokemon Home, I need about 150 Dex entries in Galar, 100 in the Isle of Armor, and 100 in the Crown Tundra. And this omnipresent timer over my head, we start grinding. We make good progress catching some Pokemon. I haven't yet transferred over, but with work, I really don't have all that much time to grind, especially when I have to grind levels on some Pokemon which take forever to level up. And even grinding the friendship for others to evolve takes a fair amount of time. But with all of that grinding, luckily there's a little bit of the DLC I actually never got to play and experience, which includes gathering footprints to encounter the Swords of Justice. And although they were a pain to catch, this was actually a ton of fun for me. And with all of this, I was getting my daily shinies on top of all of that. But after begging my friends to trade me to evolve some trade evos, and then trading for Pokemon like Type Null and Cubfu, which I would have had to start a new playthrough for, day 100 rolls around, and it's time. Look at it! Look at it! But no, it's beautiful to have this shiny Keldeo, and it's the fitting end to the 100-day challenge. And honestly, it was pretty chill doing this challenge. There was a few moments where I was really sweating, but I enjoyed documenting all the fun shiny catches that I had, and it's really nice to look over it. And yeah, here's my spreadsheet. If there's any doubt that I cheated or skipped a day, you gotta take my word for it. I promise I didn't. And just for fun, here's some stats on what I caught in the last 100 days. I caught 92 Legends Arceus shinies, 72 Pokemon Scarlet, 62 Go, 5 Shield, 3 Sleep, 1 Black, 1 White 2, and 1 Pokemon Home shiny. And while these were really just a ton of background hunts I did, I cannot wait for you guys to see some of the main hunts that I've been doing while I did all of this. So I'd love it if you stuck around, but that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!